Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you are new here. My name is Vicky. I am a New York City based running lifestyle content creator, and I'm documenting my marathon training journey. This is episode 2, which is kind of wild. We're already into week 2. We are officially 18 weeks out from the New York City Marathon, and training is really starting to ramp up. This video is kind of all over the place, and it is a great reflection of balancing life and marathon training at the same time. I started off in Portland, where my family lives, for a week, and I was mostly doing my training on the treadmill using the Peloton app. And then I also did my max effort mile trial while I was there, which was a little bit rough, but it also was good. And then I am now back in New York City. I did a deep dive on heart rate and zones while I was on my plane ride home, so that is included in this video. If you go back and watch episode 1, you know that the training plan that I'm following kind of doesn't get to the mileage that I was already at for a couple weeks. So right now I'm just doing what I'm doing, but I think it's going really well so far. Definitely trying to incorporate those speed and tempo workouts. Thank you to all of the comments on my episode 1 video. I'm super excited about the series, and it's really nice to see that people are also excited about it and giving me advice and feedback on the training plan. A lot of people had used Hanson's marathon method, so that was also really great to hear. And I'm just excited. So we're gonna start out the video in Portland at my family's house, do our little mile trial, some training on the treadmill, and then we'll be back in New York to talk all things heart rate and marathon training. So let's just get right into it. Good morning. I'm back in my parents' basement. It's 6 in the morning on Monday, and I'm about to go do 9 miles, I think, maybe, hopefully, on the treadmill. And I am being a little bit lazy because I probably could do this outside. The running routes in my area are not great. I would have to drive to then go on a run, and I really don't want to do that, so I'm gonna knock it out on the treadmill. And I'm kind of dreading it because I do like the treadmill, but 9 miles is a lot, so I don't know if I'll actually get to all 9 miles. But I was trying to just keep my same mileage that I do in New York with my run clubs while I'm here. And on Mondays I normally run 2 miles up, 5 miles with endorphins, and then 2 miles back. So we're gonna see. I'm going to take a Peloton class, and I'm actually going to take the New York City Marathon simulation run with Robin. I've taken it before, but I was not even close to being marathon training. It was like really early on in my running journey. So I'm going to take it again, and maybe it'll give me some motivation. But I do remember it being a good run. She kind of like goes through the whole marathon and like talks about not only her own experience, but like the course and the race. So I will report back once I finish that. Okay, I got done with my 9 miles on the treadmill, showered, got my shit together, and that was definitely very tough mentally. And I am normally really good on the treadmill, meaning like it doesn't bother me and I can feel like I could just run forever on the treadmill, but there was just something about 9 miles today that was like, wow, this feels like a very, very long time to be on a treadmill. And it is, but I was happy with like the way that I felt during it. It was just like crazy how fast the miles go when you're with other people at a run club versus on the treadmill. But I did stack 2 Peloton classes. I actually did the 45-minute New York Marathon simulation run with Robin, and then I stacked I think it was like a 20-minute pop run at the end. But the 45-minute marathon simulation run was so good, and it got me very, very excited for the marathon. She kind of talks through like the course and like what to expect and just some like tips and tricks. So if you are interested in that, I would highly recommend it. It's on the Peloton app. That was a great run. So that 45 minutes was solid. It was kind of after that 45 minutes where I was like, I want to be done with this. So that's Monday done, and tomorrow I'm gonna do the speed workout from Brooklyn Track Club on the treadmill. So we'll see how that goes. Hello there. It is Thursday afternoon post work, and I've made a rational decision to do my mile trial for the marathon program that probably should have been done weeks ago, and I've just been putting it off because it's something that I'm just like, I don't want to do that, because like who really wants to run a mile as fast as they can? And I'm very competitive. I'll get in my head about it. I'm like more nervous for this mile than I have been for like a race or the marathon.
There's something about a timed mile that is just like, maybe I'm getting like flashbacks to high school when we would have to do like timed miles, and I'm just like putting it off. But for some reason today, it just felt right. It felt like it was a good time to do it. I have access to the Nike track while I'm home, and everyone has seemed to be doing theirs on Strava that's doing the endorphins program. So I'm like, fine, I'll do it. And I know that this isn't going to like make or break my program. Like, it's not like I'm going to completely adjust and throw out my plan based on this 1 mile, but it's still a good test of fitness. And I think my last mile trial I did in April, and I was just over 7 minutes, like 7 minutes and 7 seconds. And I know I can run faster than that, but we're gonna see. We're just gonna try our best. And if it doesn't feel good, I can try again. But I am at the Nike track right now. I'm gonna do a little warm up and then just get into it. I have arrived at the track. It's a beautiful afternoon, but it's also really hot. Like, the sun is beating down. So we're just gonna do a little jog warm up. I just finished. I'm literally more sweaty than I was during my long run. It's so hot. But I did beat my time from last time. I ended with a 6:40, and I'm super happy with that time. I almost feel like I even could have gone harder, but that is for next time. And I'm really excited to do another mile trial like halfway through training and just see where I'm at. But for now, I'm feeling very sweaty and very hot. So we're gonna wrap this up. Good morning. It is Friday. It's my last day in Oregon. I actually leave this afternoon to fly to California for a wedding, another wedding. And I'm just doing a 30-minute Peloton run because I'm probably not going to be running tomorrow, given there's a wedding to go to, which is far more exciting and important. So I'm just getting in some last easy miles for the week. And then Sunday I am on a plane all day, so I won't be running then either. So this is just gonna wrap up my weekly mileage. I think I'll probably get up to like 33, 34, which is actually more than I thought I was gonna get to, given I'm at home and I'm not at run clubs and I just like had less time this week. So I'm actually really happy with the weekly mileage for the week. And then when I get back on Monday, that's when everything really starts to ramp up. We're gonna be 18 weeks out. My plan is 18 weeks, and that's really gonna kickstart the marathon training. So I'm gonna do these easy miles, and then once I'm back in New York, it's go time.
Let's talk about heart rate for a second, because I feel like this is a very hot topic in the running community, and it's definitely coming up throughout my training already. The endorphins program, Coach Stowe has already touched on heart rate and kind of what target zones we should be in during our pace training, and like if you're running easy, you should try to be in these zones, etc. And it's coming up a lot. I know there's a lot of back and forth about heart rate training and if you should fully stick to zone training or not. And there's so many factors, especially individual factors, that can make a difference in your heart rate zones. And even like the weather, like when it's hot or humid, your heart rate is higher. So I am trying to kind of see where I'm at. And that being said, based on my mile trial, I'm going to calculate or recalculate my heart rate zones so that I can have a better idea of what zones I am in for the last few runs I've been on and then going forward for the rest of the training program. So I kind of went on a deep dive on my plane ride home on heart rate zones and kind of how to calculate them in the best way. And there is a formula, and it's something about something minus your age, and it gives you your max heart rate, whatever. But it said the best way to do it is to have a chest strap monitor, which I did have when I was doing my mile trial, and to do a basically maximum effort and figure out your heart rate zones from there. So I would say that the mile trial I did was pretty much a maximum effort for me. So I went back and looked at the data, and my maximum heart rate on that mile trial was 198, and my average heart rate during that trial was 187. So your average heart rate during that max effort is kind of your lactate threshold number, And then your max heart rate is what you can base your zones on. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put a little graphic of the heart rate zones that I'm referring to. But essentially zone 5 is your max effort zone, and that is 90 to 100% of your maximum heart rate, and then it goes down from there. Basically, zones 1, 2, and 3 are aerobic. Zones 4 and 5 get into that anaerobic space, and there's different benefits to being in different zones. But for marathon training, you really want to be in those easy zones for a lot of your runs so that you're not absolutely killing yourself on every single run. The speed work that I do and the tempo runs might get into the higher zones like 4 and 5, but for the most part, I'm really trying to stick between zones 2 and 3. So I've calculated my new heart rate zones, and then I went into the Garmin app and my Strava account and updated the zones on there so that they're now custom to this new data. And now every run that I go on, it will calculate my new heart rate zones based on that data, which is really nice. And essentially in Strava and in Garmin, it will give you a little graph of what zone you were in for how long and what your heart rate was. That being said, Coach Stowe with the Endorphins program really does highly recommend trying to stick between zones 2 if you can, or zone 3 for those easy runs. So that is kind of going to be my goal. But again, because there's so many outside factors, just the way that my body works, the outside temperature, the time of day, like there's so many factors to heart rate. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. If I am on an easy run and it is at a conversational pace for me, I'm not going to be beating myself up if I'm in zone 3 closer to zone 4, because it's like I know that that is an easy effort. I do feel like the talk test gives a really good idea of the effort that you're actually giving, because if you can speak in full sentences, that to me is like, okay, you're in an aerobic spot and you can hold this pace for a long time, and it really is an easy effort. If I'm like, having a hard time getting words out, I know that I'm probably in the wrong zone for that run. So again, data is only going to take me so far, and I'm not going to beat myself up over a heart rate zone, but it was nice to do that mile trial so that I have an idea of my max heart rate and my zones-ish. And now that I am back in New York, it's Monday. I did not go to run club today because I needed the sleep. I had quite the travel day and didn't get home until like 2 in the morning. So I'm gonna go out for a run today, and I have no idea how it's gonna go, and I basically have no expectations because I normally do 9 miles with Endorphins on a Monday. I have no idea if I will get to those 9 miles, but we're gonna do our best. She's dressed and she's ready to go for a run. I'm nervous for some reason, probably because I'm just a little bit exhausted, and I'm going out with like absolutely zero expectations for this run. I'm also wearing a visor for the first time. I never wear a visor, but I heard it helps keep your head cooler when you're running, and it's really humid outside. That's also a factor in the run today. I'm just literally gonna go out and see how long I can go for. Probably won't do the full Monday normal mileage, but that's fine because I will just adjust and get the rest of the miles in sometimes later this week. But I feel like this is going to happen a lot during this marathon training. I feel like I've been putting off training, and I was like, after I get back from my weddings, I will like really kick it into training gear. And like nothing's really changing for me right now. I'm just doing my normal mileage, but for some reason I'm like getting nervous for runs and getting in my head about like hitting paces and things. So I need to relax. I really need to relax and just go out and have a fun run today. I'm just happy to be back in the city, running along West Side Highway. So I will give a full review of this run once I get back.
I'm hoping you can hear me. The visor is really nice, I must say. But I'm out on this run, and honestly, when I started, I was like, there is no way I'm doing my normal Monday mileage. I feel like crap, but I ran up to Pier 45 where Endorphins normally meets, and I definitely ran too fast. And then I was like, I'm just gonna take it easy. And I ended up calling my mom, my brother, and one of my best friends. And I'm about to finish the 9 miles.
So I just did the endorphins route on my own, really easy pace, kept my heart rate in between zone 2 and 3. My arm really hurts from holding this, but yeah, easy heart rate, easy pace. I'm feeling really good.
I am disgusting. Also, look at how dead my plant is. That's upsetting. It is so humid outside. I recorded a bit on the run. I have no idea if you can hear me, but anyway, I ended up going out there absolutely miserable for the first like 2 miles because I went out way too fast and I wasn't looking at my watch, and then I was like, oh, I just need to slow down and I'll feel better. And that is exactly what happened. I called 3 people. I'm trying to undo this necklace. And it was so nice. Like, it was just like so chill and relaxed. It was exactly what I needed. And I ended up at 9.5 miles, I think. And I was in zone 3 for the majority. I would have liked to be like a little lower. I was definitely teetering on zone 4, so I need to work on that. But I was also really, really hot from the humidity. So I think that that also can alter your heart rate a little bit. I was reading. I'm not a scientist. But I'm feeling really strong after that and excited that I got that done. And I'm gonna sit in my compression boots after I shower. It's Tuesday and I did not go to Brooklyn Track Club this morning at the track, but I am gonna do the workout. I have just been prioritizing sleep, which is what I said I was going to do for my entire training cycle, is prioritize sleep and recovery. And I got back super late Sunday night. I did 9 miles yesterday. I was feeling really good, but I'm still pretty tired. That being said, the Brooklyn Track Club workout today is 8 to 10 600 repeats. And we're supposed to start out at 10K pace and work our way down. And then there's a 90-second recovery in between, and then 2 by 200 at mile pace to finish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it on the treadmill, but I'm also going to add it as a workout on my Garmin watch, which I have not done yet, but I see a lot of people doing that because doing meter repeats on the treadmill and trying to convert it to miles, like my brain just doesn't work like that. I just want it to tell me the meters. So I'm gonna set up a workout in the Garmin app so that I can just have it on my watch and it will tell me exactly what I need to do. I'm gonna do create a workout. I'm just gonna do the warm-up separately. So I'm just gonna delete the warm-up step, and then we're gonna do add repeat. So we're gonna run distance. We're gonna run 600 meters, and we're gonna do that 10 times. And to recover, we're going to get 90 seconds. And then I'll do the cool down separately. And then I'm gonna add another repeat for the last 200 meter repeats. So we're gonna go 200 meters and then same recovery. We got 90 seconds. So that's the workout. So I think all I have to do is save this, sync it to my watch, and then when I am finished with my 1 mile warm up, I can just do workout and it will show me the steps and what to do. So now I'm going into my watch and I'm just gonna go into training, workouts, workout library, and there it is. Brooklyn Track Club, July 4th. Happy 4th of July. And then if I click on it, it'll just say do workout and I can view the steps. It's telling me, see, my brain's already confused because it was saying run 0.37 miles, which is 600 meters. Yeah. So it's telling me run 0.37 miles, recover for 1 minute and 30 seconds, repeat steps 1 and 2 10 times. Then I'm gonna run 0.12 miles, that's 200 meters, rest, and repeat that twice. And then I'm done. Now, what I'm not sure of is during those recoveries, if I'm supposed to like stop my watch or just let it recover, and I'm not gonna be moving during that time. Like normally at the track, we are just at a standstill. So that will probably show that my paces are gonna be all out of whack, but I think it'll calculate based on the actual work and not the rest. So this will be a fun little trial and just to see how the watch works, because I really don't feel like I use my watch to its fullest extent and abilities. So we're gonna get ready and go down to the treadmill, and then I'll kind of figure out what happens down there, and hopefully it works. Okay, I'm in the gym now. I just did a 1 mile warm up, and now I'm gonna do workout on the intervals. Once again, I am disgusting, but I don't know why I've never used that Garmin feature before. I feel really dumb actually, because I've been doing speed workouts, like tracking it on my own, and there's no need. It was really, really nice to have that. It worked perfectly. It told me when to go, when to rest. It was beeping at me. I think the only thing I would change is try to edit the screens that are actually on the watch face while you're running, because I found it kind of hard to see the pace that I was running at. But it did count down in the distance, which was actually really nice because I'm used to it obviously going from 0 to 1 mile, but it was going backwards, and that kind of made it like easier in a way. It wasn't easy, but the 600s went really well. I definitely pushed the pace, and the 200s I really pushed the pace. It said to do mile pace, and I was definitely above my mile pace, but I was like, it's only 200 meters, so I feel like I can hold it. And it went very well. I just listened to music the whole time. I didn't use a Peloton class. And now I'm just gonna like look at the data and look at the Garmin. So if I go into the actual track workout, I did my warm up and my cool down separately as 2 separate runs, 1 mile each. And then I go into the little like split times, and I can either view just the runs or just the recoveries, or all of them at the same time. So it, as you can see, if I put it up on the screen here, you can see it was tracking my pace on some of the recoveries. When I wasn't moving, I was like kind of walking, but it'll basically tell you all of your split times. And then let's check out my heart rate just for fun. Looks like I was in zone 4 and I was in zone 3 for quite a bit of it. I was in zone 3 for 14 minutes. I was in zone 4 for the rest. So honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. And this is really, really nice to know. And I will be using this going forward. So that is going to conclude episode 2 of our New York City Marathon training series. I'm excited for the next episode. I'm already filming for it. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to kind of do a Q&A as I go throughout this series. And if there's anything else you want me to touch on specifically, just leave me a comment. Make sure you're following me on TikTok and Instagram, because I post pretty much daily on both of those platforms. So if you want to see life and marathon training, you can go ahead and follow me, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.